Guneet Monga is an iconoclast.
I'm neither a writer nor a family member of an actor. So I feel like, then who am I? For long, I have been in identity crisis. I sit absolutely between creative and the commerce.
A producer who has quietly rewritten the rules of Indian cinema.
A role of a producer is not just to make IP. A role of a producer is to expand the value of IP.
From early setbacks in the family and grind at Balaji Telefilms to becoming the force behind taking Anurag Kashyap's films global and backing bold, auteur-led cinema, Guneet's journey has been defined by grit, jugaad and relentless problem solving. And it culminates in 2 Oscar wins.
I was born in a very, very rich family in GK2, but however, that house was very conflicted. My mom and I used to plan the whole day. Those 20 steps, you will get so abused. Grief became my best friend. 2006, we thought we were over the moon and we are genius, that we are making a cricket film ahead of time, and then India goes and loses. ये picture वापस ले जाओ, अगर लोगों को भी cricket के बारे में बात करेंगे तो वो theater तोड़ देंगे, जला देंगे. I didn't understand how does international sales happen, and I traveled to UK, I traveled to New York, I traveled to LA, met most of the buyers in their offices, gave DVDs of most of Anurag Kashyap films, and that's how Gangs went to Directors Fortnight and Peddlers went to Critics Week in the same year in 2012. There was so much of survival first instinct कि survive करते करते ही 20 फिल्में बना ली थी by the time I was 30. When the Oscar night happened, it's not that one night, it's that 2 decades before, that allows you to say yes to something, that allows you to know what you can do with that film. I've built a little empire called Sikhya today.
In this conversation, we explore her journey, the true role of a producer, what will make more Indian films travel globally, and her push to bring more and more women into leadership roles in the Indian film industry. It's Monday, the 4th of May. I'm Anirban Chaudhary. You're listening to Corner Office Conversation. Hi Guneet, very warm welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Let's start with your job. You are an iconoclast. There's no better word to describe you when it comes to the Indian film industry. How has the role of a producer evolved or changed in the last 5 years?
I have always been a producer who's looking for story, who's looking for money, who's looking for building the ROI. I've always built 3 scenarios of a project, like any VC, and that project needs to have its worst case scenario, mid case scenario, high case scenario. You need to test the market for numbers and you play around that. I have always been that person. I only grew up to realize that producers are people who are investors and who are financiers are producers. And I was like, फिर मैं कौन हूँ? And then I realized that family members of actors were producers, I was just like, so I'm neither a writer nor a director nor a family member of an actor. For long, I have been in identity crisis. Ki in India scenario, how do you actually define a producer? Because I am creative first, and I sit absolutely between creative and the commerce. So a role of a producer is not just to make IP. A role of a producer is to expand the value of IP. How far can we go? And how far can we make it that valuable that it becomes legacy? I do feel like with the digital world coming in, which was 10 years ago, there has been a lot of conversation on more content and more producer first conversation because they need producers to be accountable for quality of the content. And in the last few years, I feel like it is further narrowed into the need of better story. So then there needs to be a whole point of view, which is also money, which is also art, and it is producing. And I feel producing is at the center of any good filmmaking.
Just to build on that, what attracted you to film production and film distribution?
I did mass communication in my college. And I did think that I have a knack of business. I come from my dad was, I think a hustler, a jugaad hustler, from carpets to construction material to property dealer. He was everything that the season needed to run a house, you know. And jugaad हमारी नसों में है, right? So I did think that I could be a business person. And in mass communication, I started an internship in international films. During my college, I was interning in editing and I was interning in international films that are shot out of Delhi. And that allowed me to handle large scale logistics, large scale departments, matlab from transport. Transport is just like, one truck doesn't reach on time, your shoot will not happen. हर एक के stakes इतने high होते हैं. So I'm just saying one department. Then there is equipment, there is hair makeup, there is, it's like carrying a city. It's like building a city and then dismantling it like it was never there. So I think I really enjoyed the responsibility of large scale logistics. And I did that for the first 5 years. I started as an intern and went all the way to being a line producer, to being somebody who's the head of logistics. How does this money get deployed in the next 30 to 40 to 60 days? And what is our, every day? It's like event management on steroids. I really wanted to learn the creatives. I really wanted to be like, ये कैसे बनता है? At that point of time, I was getting involved after the 100 pages of the script was in place. I would then break it down. I would then get into logistics and execution. Well, I was very curious to figure out how did this 100 pages get created and why are we choosing to tell this story and how do I be part of that? That led me to come to Bombay.
I must ask you to share with us the story of Salam India.
So my first film, I was 21 and I was moving to Bombay. I come from such a humble family. To give you context, I was born in a very, very rich family in GK2. And but however, that house was very
Conflicted.
conflicted, and it was a very, very toxic, conflicted environment by my extended family. And my parents and I were like best friends, I can only represent this with Life is Beautiful, the film. Like, I was wearing the rose tinted glasses, but otherwise it was just really like very too many fights, banging of darwazas. I don't even know why. It was very hard. And it was a joint family, and we were restricted to one bedroom in a very big house. And if we even came out of that bedroom, it was war zone. We didn't have space to keep a fridge. My mom's parents had given her, my mom's side had given her a big fridge and a big freezer, and it was almost like, like a big size. And there was no space in our room to keep it. So it used to be outside in the living room, in the common area. And my mom and I used to plan the whole day to access the fridge, because it used to be like run up and run back. It's literally 20 steps. But those 20 steps, you will get so abused. You will have to go through so much trauma that we used to think कि सब सो जाएं तो फिर हम fridge use करें. So it was that kind of crazy nonsense of a atmosphere to live in. So we started our life, and हम लोग 5,000 घर के रेंट पे रहते थे. इनफैक्ट मुशीरुल हसन साहब के घर पे रहते थे हम, who was the vice chancellor of Jamia Millia. And I was 12 or 13 when I moved to Surajkund. And 8 years we were there. And then we came back to South Delhi, and we had another house rented in Kailash Colony. And my neighbor, who was on first floor, his name was Kamlesh Agarwal, he one day told me that तूने मास कम्युनिकेशन पढ़ाई की है, तो मैं एक स्टूडियो खोलना चाहता हूँ जहाँ हम बच्चों का वीडियो बनाएंगे और उनके पेरेंट्स को बेचेंगे, लाइक न्यू बॉर्न बेबीज. And we will do a setup, we will build a camera and lights and take a studio.
Yeah.
And I was like, अच्छा इस पे कितने पैसे खर्च होंगे? कहते लग जाएंगे 50 लाख. तो I said बहुत खराब आइडिया है. मैंने इसलिए नहीं पढ़ाई की कि मैं बच्चों का वीडियो बनाऊंगी. मुझे बॉम्बे जाके फिल्म बनानी है. तो he's like, okay, ऐसे कर लेते हैं. And वो मान गए. And he agreed to give me 50 lakhs to go to Bombay and make Salam India and make a movie. Why I told you the story is because all my friends went for post-graduation. I could not afford a post-graduation. I could not afford to study more. And I told him, मुझे बॉम्बे जाके फिल्म बनानी है, and he said yes. And I think that yes pretty much changed my life. I came to Bombay, and the only people I knew here were equipment guys, because I used to hire massive equipment from Delhi, like interesting balloon lights and crazy big things. So I literally knew gaffers. and I knew light guys. And मैं उनसे पूछ रही थी कि आप किसी एडी को जानते हो, किसी डायरेक्टर को जानते हो, किसी राइटर को जानते हो? मेरे पास 50 लाख है, मुझे कहानी बोलनी है, मुझे कहानी बनानी है. एंड देन आई मेट पीपल इन cafes and food courts, and people were like this young child with 50 lakhs. So I was just like, मुझे अच्छी कहानी लगेगी तो हम बोलेंगे, मुझे I have to, the script has to be great. That's when I met Subhash Kapoor, and he was also from a journalistic background from Delhi, moving to Bombay, and also had a story which was Salam India, which then went on to become Salam India, and it was classic young school film, the classic sports underdog story, rich school, poor school, right? Jo jeeta hai Sikandar, but in cricket, and how in last ball, the poor school, the deprived kids, how they hit it out of the park, and crescendo rising. So very nice. In 2006 we decided to do this, and 2007 was the World Cup. तो हमें लग रहा था कि हम बहुत cool हैं, कि हम लोगों को एक surrogate marketing भी मिल जाएगी, brands आ जाएंगे, आप किसी से बात करो, cricket के around content है, तो आप you can jump off on many other marketing conversations, you can co-share a hoarding, you can co-share online, and and you can give them content for marketing. So, and Subhash Kapoor, the director, had access to another 50 lakhs, and then we made the budget. It was 1.5 crores. So he went and raised another 25. I went and raised another 25 with my producing partner at that time, and we went on to make a 1.5 crore ka film. And to our independent journey and to our pleasure, AdLabs at that point of time, run by Manmohan Shetty, came and bought the film. In terms of last in first out deal, PNA, कि वो marketing करेंगे, release करेंगे, and release plus सारे rights से पहले they will make the money, and then whatever is left is comes to the producers to recoup their 1.5. We were very excited to get A-list distribution. And in that AC room, you're having those distribution conversations, कितने screen में picture लगेगी, all of that. Of course, India तो मतलब आगे बढ़ेगा ही. इससे पहले जो 4 साल पहले जो मैच हुआ था ऑस्ट्रेलिया के साथ, इंडिया वाज इन फाइनल्स, एंड इट्स अ ग्रेट टीम, एंड Reebok is doing जूते signed by Rahul Dravid, and Samsung is doing new TVs, curved TVs are coming in, and your Pepsi Gold is coming in, and brands are going to the moon, and then India goes and loses, and my film releases. And यहाँ पर मतलब people have died of heart attack, the next day news, and everybody's shocked, and they have ran to cinemas, and my film is released, and it's a good time. बट वो 7 डब्बे जो उस टाइम 7 बॉक्सेस जो मेरे रील्स के गए हैं फिल्म के, they have, it's a very big deal in a life of an independent producer to have a release by a studio, and we have found the release. Our prints have reached the theaters. The theater guys have called the distributor, AdLabs guys, and said कि ये पिक्चर वापस ले जाओ, अगर लोगों को अभी क्रिकेट के बारे में बात करेंगे तो वो थिएटर तोड़ देंगे, जला देंगे, क्रिकेट के ऊपर नहीं कर सकते हम. सो द होल स्ट्रेटजी ऑफ 2006 went against us, and 2007 में तो फिल्म was just like, ये थिएटर पे तो नहीं जा सकती बॉस. तो our डब्बे came back without, like, हमारी रिलीज हुई बट शो लगा ही नहीं. सो आपने कुछ देखा ही नहीं, मतलब there's no revenue that came in, and I didn't know how I will go back home. मैं तो अपने नेबर से 50 लाख रुपए लेकर आए थे. And I was, at that point, I'd taken up a job in Gajni, and for me as a young film person, so I was line producer on Gajni, which was a big deal in my career. And I was like, एक independent film बना लिया और अब salary पर अच्छा पैसा में काम करेंगे, and then I'll go back to produce. I resigned being that line producer on Gajni, and I said, I really need to figure out how I can distribute my film. And everybody's like, how will you? It's done. So then I went back to Delhi. I went back to my house in Kailash Colony, and right opposite my house is my school, Bluebell School in Kailash Colony. And I went to my principal and I said, हम लोग बचपन में आप मुंगेरी लाल के हसीन सपने दिखाते थे, हम पिक्चरें देखते थे 50 रुपए per child. Would you collect 50 rupees per child and host a show? And I said 1,000 kids. There are 2,500 kids in school. So class 3, 4 के upwards भी, 5 के upwards भी kids can come watch this film. She said yes, and she went on the journey of getting 1,000 kids to book a show. I went to a cinema behind my house called Sapna Cinema, and I said, सुबह 9 से 12 के शो में आप कितने पैसे कमाते हो? तो he said 4 से 5 हज़ार. I said मैं आपको 10,000 दूंगी, मुझे थिएटर दे दो, 1,000 seater, single screen. He said done. तो ये बच्चे आए, 50,000 का शो लगा, 10,000 थिएटर वाले को दिए, 40,000 मेरे, एंड 40,000 फिल्म की तरफ. And the kids loved the show. You know, by the end, they were jumping on the seats and they were just like the crescendo rising, and kids, they loved it. So that's when I think I went back to my principal and I said, would you please give me a letter of appreciation of sorts? And she said yes, and I straight went to DPS Arkepuram. And I did the same deal with DPS Arkepuram and Sangam Cinema. There were 25,000 kids there. I did 20 shows at Sangam. The minute that happened, same deal. All other DPS of the city got activated. All other chains started calling, and Mathura Road, Vasant Vihar, Vasant Kunj, Kailash Colony, all of this activated. And then I went back to my college, mass communication. मैं 5 साल पहले वहाँ से graduate हुई थी. And I just addressed the entire batch of all 3 years, and I was just like, see, all of us are studying mass communication, and one day we plan to hopefully make films. I've gone to Bombay, made a film, and raised the money, done the work, and it's bombed for no fault of mine. माहौल बदल गया, हालात बदल गए. And I said, I need volunteers. I'll get you letters from Ad Labs, internship letters from Ad Labs, from my studio. That was the biggest and the buzziest name in the mix. And that's when I had 27 boys on bikes as my interns. And I spoke to my principal. Their attendance was given, and I gave them internships. And there was a day in my life जहाँ 14-15 शो एक दिन साथ में चल रहे थे. That's when I went to advertisers. So I knew where Linda's office was. I straight went to their office and I said, I just want to speak to the boss. I have 1,000 kids and I have sampling opportunities. And that's when, 2 brands came on board through that for sampling 1,000 kids per show. And we did some 300 plus shows like this. I went to Sonipat, Panipat, Chandigarh, across, and I kept doing shows, made all the money back for my investor. And that's the day I was like, how will I be a producer if I don't return this money? And how will I be a producer if I don't find my audiences, So that has been my, I think, stepping stone of telling myself. It's what you tell yourself. It's telling myself that I am a producer, So I can do this. I can take this responsibility and do this. And I made all the money back. And that's how my first film was made.
Did any of the volunteers make their way to now? I mean, are they part of
Yes, of course. One of the most brilliant stories of my life is that one day I asked the 27 volunteers कि आपके भी तो कुछ खर्चे होते होंगे ना कि and then next day I got an Excel sheet जिसमें toll road breakup था, जिसमें refreshment breakup था, and I was like इतना detailed Excel sheet किसने बनाया? So one hand raised and I was like, what's your name? And he said Achin Jain, and second year. And I was like, छोड़ दे college, आजा मेरे साथ. And he did. He left his college. He came to Bombay. Exam देकर graduation की degree मिल गई. And we are producing partners. He co-owns Sikhya. We built Sikhya together. He's 5 years younger than me, and we are like 2 dreaming kids who came here with nothing, and have built a little empire called Sikhya today.
Let's come straight to how you sort of cracked the international circuit, your first lessons.
Yeah, I think the first lesson was that girl in Yellow Boots. Yellow Boots
Okay.
के साथ Venice गए थे.
Okay.
Because Kashyap had said film में international है, crack करना है.
Okay.
And Yellow Boots का वहाँ जाकर Venice जाकर मुझे लग रहा था I had overprinted stationery. I didn't understand what is a film festival. I thought सब जगह हम अपने पोस्टर लगा देंगे. And I shipped stationery from here, visiting cards with Yellow Boots, postcards, and banners. And I thought like वहाँ पर कुछ stall होगा, वहाँ पर हम अपने I had no idea like what a festival was. यहाँ तक कि उस time तो of course Airbnb भी नहीं होता था. तो ऐसे वेनिस फिल्म फेस्टिवल में वेनिस में घर बुक किया, एक 4-5 बेडरूम घर जो जिसमें हम सब रह जाएंगे कास्ट क्रू. Only to realize that the film festival is in Lido, which is 45 minutes boat ride from Venice, and it is very expensive, to do that, or you have to wait for shuttle, which will take its time and take you in bulk. It was very hard. And वहाँ जाकर पता चला that you can't just go around pasting posters, you can't just like, you have to pay for advertising, you have to pay for space. And I was like, that's not fair. I was heartbroken. So all amazing directors today and our assistant directors at that point of time, and we all just stapled posters at our back. It was my ridiculous idea. I said, we'll become human posters. So we used to staple posters and just carry them around, be like yellow boots, like koi to kharidega. And I didn't understand how does international sales happen. And I straight went up to the director of the film festival. I think fear nahi hai life mein, fear nahi hona chahiye. There was so much of survival first instinct कि survive करते करते ही 20 फिल्में बना ली थी by the time I was 30. And I was just like, I need to figure out how to sell my film. Where are the buyers? And then he gave me this fat book. He said the buyers are all here and this is a registration. They've all registered their numbers, everything is here. But you have to set this up 3 months before. 2 months before you have to get in touch with them. I said, you didn't tell me that. He said, you're supposed to know that. I said, how will I know that? He said, darling, you have to give yourself next 5 years to figure it out. And I was like, 5 साल ये तो मुझे picture अभी बेचनी है. So then I parked myself at the house that we were in and I just started sending emails to everybody. To the point like my Gmail got blocked that I was spamming, you know. तो मैंने अपना Gmail का email ID पासवर्ड अपने बहुत सारे लोगों को इंडिया में दे दिया और फोटो भेजा, सब भेजो email. एक ही email से सब. How do I send 1000 emails in a short period of time? And then I realized कि मतलब I had to do a deep dive and I figured that you know large part of this book is France. Then there is UK, then there is US, New York, LA, and Korea.
Korea.
You know, and then I figured that I need to meet them not just here. I need to meet them. Of course, people auto reply, can't meet, can't secure urgent meetings. So then I spent some time from Yellow Boots to Gangs of Wasseypur, between that, traveling to film festivals and traveling to these cities, like taking 40-hour flights to just France and having another email ID of Mera apna assistant ka, Miss Monga is in France. She's from Anurag Kashyap Films and will be doing a meeting. तो खुद ऐसा meetings fix कर करके couches पे रहकर बहुत जुगाड़ कर करके just survival mode to meet people, FaceTime. And then I met them again at festivals. Then I met them in their cities. I traveled to UK, I traveled to New York, I traveled to LA, met most of the buyers in their offices and in Korea. Built a relationship, exchanged cards, did FaceTime, you know, gave DVDs of most of Anurag Kashyap Films' work, Devdi, Udan, Gulal, Black Friday, introduced ourselves, introduced our work to everyone I met, step by step, like a foot soldier, you know.
Yeah.
Then I again went to France and then figured there is Directors Fortnight and Critics Week, and that's how Gangs went to Directors Fortnight and Peddlers went to Critics Week in the same year in 2012. Peddlers had crowdfunded the film, and Gangs of Wasseypur was, I feel very proud, and very few people know this, that I had done a deal with Netflix US through an agency. To sell and license Gangs of Wasseypur as an 8-part mini-series. So it was the first Hindi language mini-series on Netflix US only. So it was only on Netflix US. And I think that led to, you know, so much more. But उस time mini-series was a thing.
Yep.
But to understand that हमारे पास है 5.5 hour की film and we can, you know, build it into an 8-part series was shape-shifting of the IP and expanding the footprint of IP. And I think that is exactly where a producer steps in. Because idle nahi hota, you have to go around and figure it out. And I remember giving it to them for very little money and non-exclusive, like literally $10,000. And I was like, karo, dalo to sahi film. You know, put our work out there, put our language, our cinema out there, our craft out there as a country, as India, and something that played at Cannes. And they came back in a week's time after they put out that we want exclusive US. And then that doubled into a much higher value. So how do you get a foot in the door? Make it happen.
Well, someone who wants to start out in this field and wants to navigate, what are the practical, you know, experiences or lessons or wisdom you would like to share in this?
Film festivals are at the core of it. Why do film festivals happen? Of course, they are showing the best of the world cinema. And it's so sad that there is a misconception that film festivals are art house. They're not. Last year, Mission Impossible played at Cannes. Not opened, it played at Cannes. Film festival is where you do business of films. So, firstly, going to film festivals, start with Goa. Start with Film Bazaar. A lot of my career is from Film Bazaar. My first round of connections are from Film Bazaar, Goa. From there are so many people there who are coming because they're interested in India. And India is so unique because we have so many languages of cinema, you know, so there is so much of amazing work happening across languages. But I feel like we shortchange ourselves by selling the whole world in India as business. And that is how the legacy has built over 100 plus years. We have groomed our diaspora in a great way. But there is a world outside the diaspora. Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon made 200, 300 million in 2000, early 2000s. And we peak at 20, 30 million global box office. That also like the biggest epitome mega hits, so it's we have a long way to go when it comes to international distribution. So I did a producers network course. I did a producers network breakfast in Cannes in 2011, and I got the scholarship from IFP in US, and that allowed me to understand the whole of Europe, the whole of Canada, UK, Korea, Australia, New Zealand works with cinema as art and culture, and they see cinema in which taxpayers' monies goes. We are hardcore equity in Bombay, in India. We are hardcore equity. US is a combination of tax and equity. Their equity is literally 30%, 30 to 40%. Rest, they figure it out on advances against distribution mechanism for any English language film. If we are sitting in US and figuring out business of cinema, our language is different. Our basic language is domestic and international. No matter the size of the IP. Domestic rights, international rights. यहाँ पर ऐसी बात ही नहीं होती. यहाँ पे worldwide India is normal. And equity, and all these decisions are driven by equity, because equity is always nervous, equity is always scared, equity is always like मेरा पैसा कल सुबह वापस दे दो, थोड़ा सा ऊपर करके interest और थोड़ा profit, right? But rest of the world works as taxpayers' money, and that means that you just need to make beautiful stuff, make beautiful elevated stuff, and the country will give you money to make this cinema happen. And that's when I realized that India has a co-production treaty with France, and we signed it in 1985. I was the first one to use it in 2011.
For Lunchbox.
For Lunchbox. And then Lunchbox ki legs, Lunchbox is an IP, right? It's a film. That film could, if it was distributed fully in India, and only that your downstream rights are with an Indian player, then it would have only gone to the diaspora. The fact that Sony Picture Classic took US, a separate distributor for US, a separate distributor for France, a separate distributor for Australia, for around the world, for Korea, for Japan, every mainstream distributor made that film big, where the diaspora was the added advantage. The non-diaspora was also marketed our films. So that sits at the core of producing an international distribution. And I learned that in Producers Network. And when I have some position of power after Oscar wins, and when doors opened for me, the reason for me to start Women in Film. And the first thing that we started in Women in Film is Producers Breakfast. It's not easy to send people to Cannes. It's very, very expensive. And it sits at the center of it. Somebody gave me that scholarship out of US, and I want to give that scholarship further so that one can get that exposure. Film, आज की डेट में फिल्म हम बना लेंगे, बहुत लोग बना रहे हैं. But your question, how does it distribute? Where does one learn this? At Producers Breakfast in Cannes. You build a peer group. You learn every day for 7 days. You're taught that, and hopefully, we can expand as a film. We deserve to. There's just so much beautiful work that happens.
You segued beautifully into the Women in Films.
Yes.
But could you talk a little more about that, and then we'll go back to the business. But I want you to, what's happening there.
I feel like there needs to be an institutional support with a lens on upskilling. And I didn't have that lens. I didn't know enough, Till a O Womania report that Film Companion and Amazon Prime did. And in that report, it said that we make 2,000 plus films in a year, and less than 4-5% of them are directed by women. In cinematography, we are less than 2%. Across the whole line item, editing, producing, production design, costume design, we are less than 12 or 15%. मतलब हम बहुत उखाड़ लेंगे तो 15%. How does that even change?
Is the percentage a lot better globally?
Yes.
Okay.
It is in 45% or something in US. Unconsciously, Women in Film US was started 52 years ago, and the percentage was very little. And now it's more than 40%. It's around 45%. And everybody has a gender lens and has that lens of equality. So then we started this, and to learn to run an organization which is a non-profit, we have zero institutional support. It doesn't exist. Like in US, there is a Sundance, there is a Film Independent, there's so many scholarships, there is Gotham, there's Tribeca, there is Ford Foundation, there is, there's so much. There is so much of peer group building, there is so much of conversation, nothing exists here. So just wanted to learn from structures there and do what I can in my bit to be able to give back in a structured way, in an institutional structured way. So that's what led to building Women in Film India. We are mentored by Women in Film LA. We are set up because of them. They gave us a startup grant for very little money that allowed us to make our website, that allowed us to have a couple of members in our team and be up and running. We could start with a lab here, or something in here. But I really, really wanted, how do you move the needle? You move the needle by giving exposure to what is not otherwise available. So I really wanted to launch it at Cannes, and we sent 3 women last year to the producers' breakfast, 3 producers to learn exactly what I learned in 2011. And this year we are taking 4.
But is the idea also to change problems like pay parity, mindset, etc.? I mean, how would you encourage more women to join when they know that they won't be
I think a
paid?
lot of women, so from a decade to now, a lot of women are joining. If you look at media schools, the percentage is much higher, close to equal on girls, how much you study in media schools.
Right.
But how many get work, how many convert work? And because this is a freelancer world, there is clearly a gap. It takes a decade to get to a place where you're moving up from an intern to an assistant to an HOD.
Yeah.
And then there is clearly a gap to go build a family. And then you go at the bottom of the freelancer world. So there is clearly people dropping out. There is clearly so much of knowledge not coming through. I just feel like as of now, there are many women on floor. There are posh committees set up there, and it's amazing to see many women working. I just feel getting to the HOD position and then converting and,
Right.
and being at the top of the chain
Right.
is very far and few. And the entry level is still very hard, and the gaps in between, career gaps. So those kind of things one really wants to step in and build a program to be able to do that. And this is not something that I can do alone. We are now in conversation with some brands, which is also it's very heartening to see, people coming forward and supporting this mission. So I'm learning from institutions around the world and building that and being mentored by Women in Film LA.
Is there a theme or an idea or a genre that you're drawn to naturally?
As a producer, it is my superpower to back whatever I like. So I back stories. And then I learn on how to be the best in that genre. I look for hope. I look for, unique characters. Like I was blown away by the one line of Paglet, that young widow who is unable to cry. I so deeply related to it because when my parents passed, I was in my early 20s and I didn't cry. I just had too much logistics to handle. मतलब 50 फैमिली मेंबर्स आ रहे हैं, आप खाना पीना ट्रैवल सबका ऑर्गेनाइज कर रहे हो, आप लॉजिस्टिक्स में घुस गए, there's no time to cry, and a producer brain. I so deeply related to it that I feel I was like, Paglet is something that I just wanted to make so badly. I saw Raid in 2010 in Sundance. It blew my mind, that film. I made friends with the producers, and forever I wanted to do a high velocity non-stop action film. So the minute Kill script was pitched to me by Nikhil Bhatt, I was like, yes, I know where I can take this. I know what I can do with this. I've been waiting for a decade for something like that, So I think that's where years of experience come handy, when the Oscar night happened. It's not that one night. It's that 2 decades before, that allows you to say yes to something, that allows you to know what you can do with that film.
How do you expand an IP?
Like Kill. It's a film with new actors and it's an expensive film. It was sub 50 crores. And to be able to, license that, sell that in India, it was hard because it's non-stop action and us level ka gore nahi dekha. Non-stop action with new actors. So you're constantly at a place where, and more power to Dharma, our studio, that backed. It was a 15-minute meeting with Karan and he was like, I love it, let's do it. I think Karan is one of the biggest cinephile we have. And it's incredible. We were on a journey. I was on a journey with him on Lunchbox. I met him in Cannes. He was there with the 4 films that they had directed, Bombay Talkies. And Karan was there and we were with Lunchbox also. 2013. And I had tried selling Lunchbox in India. किसी ने नहीं ली, एक भी गाना नहीं है. ये क्या है, इतना इंग्लिश है. ओल्डर पीपल लग रहे हैं ये लव स्टोरी के. मतलब यहाँ तो यंगर लव स्टोरी चलता है. एंड दिस इज इतना ठहराव है. ये स्टोरी टेलिंग की लैंग्वेज अलग है. तो बहुत मुश्किल से हम लोग वहाँ गए. आई लिटरली डिडंट हैव अ होटल रूम फॉर इरफान सर. My sales agent had another film, and he had a room for a major actress who was coming 2 days later, and it was in Marriott. And I was like, please, hame de do. Oh, kamra, that's how I got a room. So it was crazy, the logistics of it. And the film blew up. The whole world started bidding for the film after the premiere. They were like, this is beautiful, this is art. And when that bidding happened, in literally 48 hours, we sold the whole world on MGs for Lunchbox, minus India. And that's when I went up to Karan, and he was having dinner and he was in Cannes, and I introduced myself and I said, I'm a producer, I work with Anurag. Can you please watch it? You are like the master of love stories in India. Would you consider releasing it in India and presenting it and releasing it? And it was just an idea that sparked by seeing him sitting there and that access, and he was like, sure. Show it to me when I come back. And I was like, Pakka. And he gave me his phone number, crazy accessible. And I came back, I texted him, we won an award at Cannes, and I said, we won an award, I'm back. Would you please watch the film? We booked a screening at Lightbox. He came out and said, can you fall in love with somebody you've never met? And he had tears in his eyes, and he said, this is beautiful, and I'll do it. And then he called me to his office and he said, now tell me what you need. And I said, sir, 100 थिएटर में तो हम भी लगा लेंगे. मुझे 500 थिएटर चाहिए, मुझे प्रॉपर डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन चाहिए, मुझे P&A चाहिए, मुझे स्केल चाहिए. And that's when he built the strategy, and I learned marketing. I interned with him on that. So the success of Lunchbox in India goes to Karan and Dharma. And that relationship always stayed, that love always stayed. And for a decade, I didn't really go back to Dharma for anything. And then we had a meeting for 15 minutes. I told him I want to do a non-stop action film. मुझे बहुत पसंद है. And I've seen Raid. I know what I can do with this, and I think we can do global distribution. And he's like, done, take it. And action is expensive. It's 3 times more expensive than drama. Because if you do a scene once in drama, in action you have to do it 3 times over. You do camera rehearsals. You do, and ऊपर से we are doing it in a train. फिर वो your next take will take that much more time. There is blood. You clear that. It's very, very expensive. We had the best choreographer from Korea to come in, and more power to Nikhil Bhatt to step up on every opportunity, the writer-director, to build this out. As the film got ready, the same thing. We took it to India to sell it, and everybody was like, ये कौन लेगा? नए लोग, कौन आएगा सिनेमा में? और इतना पैसा कैसे recover करोगे? That's when we took it to Toronto. And in Toronto, the screening happened and it blew up. And same thing happened, repeat beat on what happened in Lunchbox. There was a bidding war of 7 studios next morning, and that's where we were able to propel only US and UK territory for a $2 million MG. Then we sold the whole world at another $2.5 million, and we were able to recover our budget of the film by MGs almost. And then we came to India, and we had India rights with Hotstar, which made the film go into profit, and that is how the P&A happened and theatrical happened, and the film did 25 plus crores in cinemas. I'd shown the film to Toronto guys, and I had an email from them that they would program it. I was negotiating with them a day one premiere because this is a sales title, and I then went to WME to get a sales agent, and I was telling all this to Karan, and he said, what do you need? And I said, I need another crore. I know we are at a place where we are losing. There's no buyer, but we need another 1 crore to actually go to Toronto to hire the best PR in the world. That led to even selling the remake rights to Chad, the director of John Wick. So all that over and above happened because we first built something and there was a vision.
Could you talk about the Geo Studios investment in Sekhya Entertainment? What can we expect from this investment?
I think they've given me the much needed wind under my wings. I needed to double down. I wanted to double down, but doing it yourself with a small corpus is very hard. I have lived film to film, and to sustain a team and to build a company, you're constantly developing. At an average, you develop 10 things for one to get made. But to develop 10 things, you need a corpus. And that is exactly what Jyoti Deshpande and Geo have done. I have to say that it is Jyoti's vision. I had thought that I would raise much lesser money and just double down on my development. But it was Jyoti who came and said that double down, you've done enough. now end-to-end produce films and raise a bigger corpus, and that's how the deal happened. What you can expect further is from Sikhya doing one film in 2 years to doing 3 films in a year to doing 5 films in a year, and that kind of propelling will happen. So that is definitely what Jio's money is going to do for us.
Final questions. How do you look at the digital space? In several of your interviews, you've said that 45 to 60% should come from OTT and digital,
Yeah.
even before a film releases. But we are at a time when some of the
Yeah, things
OTTs
have
are,
changed.
sort of tightening their purse strings a little.
Yeah, so times have changed. OTTs have shrunk. Also, Hotstar is completely doubling down on cricket. Then your Netflix, Amazon, Z, Sony, and that really shrinks the market. I think it's being led by Netflix, and a lot of acquisitions are done by Amazon. And I think that Z is also doing a lot of regional. So it's hard time in the business, definitely. I think this is when you have to be even more audacious. You have to be even more courageous. You have to have far more faith in the story that you have to tell. It needs to jump off the page, double down on things that you can put on theaters. Having said that, music rights have grown
Yep.
in India. Satellite has crushed, because advertising has moved
Yep.
so much to digital. So that's why I'm even curious for pay-per-view. So innovation needs to happen, and innovation sits at the center of it. And I think at Sikhya, we've always innovated. We've built a career out of not having the idle world, of lack of access, of lack of opportunity, lack of meetings, So that's how we were able to crowdfund Peddlers and Haramkhor.
Yeah.
I think this is the time when a lot of random riffraff projects are out, because there is not bulk buying happening, but good IPs will be bought, and you will also make money, and and they will build legacy for sure.
Wonderful. Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much,
Thank
Vinny,
you
for
so-
joining
Thank
us.
you so much. Thank you. I'm so happy I came all the way to the Times of India building in this gorgeous space. Yeah, thank you.
That's it for today. You were listening to our latest Corner Office conversation. It was produced by Vinay Joshi and Rajas Naik, sound designed by Amrit Reggie. Corner Office Conversation is a show where we talk to the most interesting business and thought leaders from India and the world. Keep listening.